I'm posting this as a public service announcement, so to speak. This is probably not news to a lot of people that are staying informed about what the government's up to. You can go to www.fema.gov to check out this what I'm about to say, because this is actually going to happen according to www.fema.gov. Apparently, FEMA, in coordination with Homeland Security, is planning a martial law drill to go, to do a nationwide martial law drill, and they're going to enlist not only our own military and police forces, but they're also going to enlist military from Mexico, Canada, Australia, and the United Kingdom, Great Britain, to help in this exercise, where they're doing supposedly a mock terrorist attack, and they're locking down the United States from July 27th to August 1st as a martial law drill, a nationwide martial law drill. They'll be mostly focusing primarily in the states of Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and New Mexico. But it's going to be a nationwide drill nonetheless, and they're going to try to coordinate everything together. And given the history of government in the past, and we see that on 9/11, when the trade towers were bombed, that and this is mainstream news. It was reported in the mainstream. NORAD was running identical scenarios for what happened on 9/11 on the same day that it happened. And we also, if we go back even earlier to the Oklahoma bombing, in Oklahoma, they were running terrorist exercises on the day that the Oklahoma bombing took place, in the same city that the bombing took place. And also, if we look at the London bombings with the buses, and this is also mainstream news, the Brits were running identical scenarios to what happened during their exercise, while they were doing an exercise a terrorist exercise, for a couple of buses being wired to blow. Then the actual event actually happened. These have become known as false flag operations. And the reason governments, when they want to create terrorist activities upon the people, first off, the reason they do it is because they want to have excuses to take your rights away and to become more, more intrusive. And the reason they do it during times of national exercises is because that way their agents who are carrying out the real false flag terrorist attacks, should they be caught by an honest agent or police officer or whatever, they simply can say, well, we're part of the exercise. And so the honest agent doesn't think twice about it. Well, yeah, we are running this exercise for this particular scenario, so they probably are part of this exercise. So rather than seeing it as a real event, they look at it as just part of the exercise, and they don't think twice about it until an event happens, and then that gives the government an excuse in the eyes of the people, because they've created a problem, to then bring in their solution. Well, anyway, we're having this national martial law drill July 27th through August 1st, according to the FEMA web pages themselves. You can go to FEMA.gov to verify this. Since the governments of our world have carried out false flags during these types of exercises before, there's really no reason in my mind to think that they might not attempt to do so, to create a false flag during the martial law drills either, and then turn the drill into a real event where they're now locking down the nation and going door to door confiscating guns with the help of foreign troops, mind you. First off, what is foreign troops doing training for martial law lockdown in our country? They have no business. It's a violation of posse comitatus. Of course, they suspended that, but that's illegal anyway. But obviously got a bad connection in that. But anyway, my advice to all of my fellow Americans out there, including the militia groups, the thousands of militia groups out there and whatnot, and the militia leaders. Militia leaders, during that period of time, I wouldn't be anywhere near your home. I wouldn't be anywhere near your base camp if you have a set base of operations where you practice and train. I would just call my group together and we would take an extended vacation up in the woods somewhere, or out in the wilderness somewhere, at scattered locations, undisclosed locations. And American citizens, if I were you, and you are gun lovers and whatnot, and you love your Second Amendment rights, I would recommend during this exercise, just to be safe, that you take your ammunition and your firearms and you hide them away somewhere in a undisclosed location. Bury them perhaps in some kind of protective, container of some sort, some kind of protective case, to where you know where they are, but no one else does. Just in case, I'm not saying that FEMA is going to utilize this to actually install martial law during the exercise, but if they create a false flag operation, and then, during the exercises, they've already got their people in place because of the drill, they simply then declare a national emergency and turn it into a real event, a real martial law lockdown where they're confiscating people's firearms. It has been reported that the people in the Obama administration told one of the leaders, somebody in the higher up areas of the Soviet Union, that the Americans would be disarmed by September. Well, we'll see about that. And my message to the New World Order out there, and to the globalist elitist bankers who have largely taken over control of our government, we will get our government back. We the people will prevail. Number one. Number two, even though you have done this time and time again to other nations, you're dealing with Americans now. We have always been a warlike people, especially when pushed. And you push us far enough, you'll know what that means. You'll find disarming our country isn't like disarming most other countries that have already been raised for generation after generation to more or less bend to the will of their leaders. We don't do that here in America. We were raised for 200 years on independence and on standing up for liberty and justice for all, and on fighting our enemies and defending our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. So, New World Order, you'll find that here in America, it ain't going to be business as usual where it comes to, what you do in other countries where they just lay down for it. We're not going to lay down for it here in America. Now, there may be some that will, but a good majority of Americans, once they realize you're a game, will be up in arms against you. And I can say that with absolute certainty, because we the people aren't going to lay down for it. And when people finally wake up as a whole, and many, many, many are waking up, in fact, the vast majority are waking up already, they're seeing the writing on the wall. Nonetheless, Americans are a different mindset than what you're used to dealing with around the world, where people just lay down for your nonsense. Once the American people understand what's going on as a whole, I guarantee you, you'll have a fight you will never, ever forget. And once the people prevail, globalist bankers, it doesn't matter how much money you have, the American people, once we prevail and we put down your fiat militaries, and we will bring you and your cronies to full justice. And any people in our government who has betrayed the people and basically guilty of treason will be tried as traitors, and they need to know that. The people will prevail regardless what you think out there. You think you're all powerful? Well, think again. The people will show you otherwise. And when the people finally do prevail, and we will, everyone who has tried to take this country down and this republic down and our freedoms away will be tried as traitors of this country and will be treated accordingly. Anyway, be on alert, militias, individual citizens. Protect your arms. Put them in a safe, undisclosed location during this exercise, just in case. This is Divine Rhyme, signing off.